Do you work really, really hard to become an expert and to become really, really good at what you do? That's fantastic. But guess what? Frankly, it's not enough. Stay tuned to find out why. Hi, Shannon Waller here, and welcome to the Team Success Podcast. Today, I'm going to talk about something that I think is incredibly important, and it's what I look for when someone is creating value for me, and therefore I think it makes sense for us to pay attention to this when we are looking to create value for someone else. And really it comes down to three words which have three very specific definitions. It's called leadership, relationship, and creativity. And it really is based on how we can uniquely contribute to other people and then really help them solve their issues. So I've had a number of personal circumstances where I realized that I was talking to an expert, but I was super frustrated because all they were giving me was their expertise and their capability. They were not providing direction, nor were they providing a whole lot by way of relationship. So, and that's really what leadership, relationship, and creativity comes down to. Leadership is providing direction. This is letting people know this is where this thing is going. Is that where you want to go? Do you want to go somewhere different, Shannon? And when they do that, I'm like, oh, thank you. I did not have the context. It's not my area of expertise, it's theirs. But with that expertise comes perspective. You know, I know when people are looking to me for direction, I'm like, okay, pay attention to this, don't pay attention to that. In 2 months, that won't matter. But this is super important. And they really appreciate that direction because we all come into a new situation full of a ton of questions, some of which are absolutely vital and others which are just kind of passing thoughts that don't really matter. When someone's providing direction, they can help you get to the essence of what's actually going to make a difference for you, which is what I was looking for in this particular situation. It had to do with medical personnel, in case you're wondering. And it wasn't about me, so don't stress. The whole point here is it's not enough to be an expert. You also need to be someone who is great at providing direction, which is leadership. And by the way, your status does not matter in this situation. You know, it doesn't matter if you're top of the totem pole or the bottom. It doesn't matter how long you've been there. In your area of expertise, you know, what you're passionate about and what you're really good at, you are an expert. And so you can foresee issues happening. You know, you can tell whether or not there's a train wreck about to happen. But if you don't speak up, you're not providing direction. It's just a really good reminder that if we're just relying on our capabilities or what we call creativity at Strategic Coach, it's actually not enough. It's only one piece of the three-part puzzle. And in my estimation, not completely sufficient in order to fully create value. The second aspect is relationship, which is providing confidence. So this is, you know, you're on the right track or you're really not on the right track with this. Now, that might not be information we want to hear, but I need to know sooner rather than later if I'm going in the wrong direction. I want confidence from you that you can help me get on the right track. And that is incredibly helpful. So yes, I expect people to be capable. You know, I expect people to give a creative solution. That's a little bit the minimum standard in our world right now. You know, there's no dearth of education. Even if you just watch YouTube, if you read the internet, hopefully not all the crazy stuff out there, you know, but if you're interested in learning, there have never been more resources available than there are right now. So if we're just relying on our creativity, on our capabilities, we're actually kind of missing some major opportunities to create value. So here's what I would like you to do with this information. So it's great, you know, I want you to become capable. That would be number one. And then practice giving people direction. And you can do it really gently. You can really do it really nicely. It's like, hey, have you thought about something from this perspective? Or let me help you. Or I'm happy to answer questions. That's giving confidence. And I want you to look at this from your own role. So who do you serve? Who do you support? Who's your audience? So if you're a team member, maybe it's your team leader, your entrepreneur, and your clientele. If you're a business owner, it's going to be your clientele as well as your team and probably your partners or vendors. It doesn't matter your role. Each of us needs to be focusing on providing direction, providing confidence, and providing capabilities. And then look at your company. Are you just experts, or do you also step in and provide people with direction? Do you also give them confidence that they're making the right decision, that you're the right person to work with, or the right organization to work with? I just got involved with a particular professional, and she sent me a checklist. Do you know how happy I am to get that checklist? That gives me a lot of confidence that I'm doing the right thing in my role. You know, I have some responsibilities here. I don't know what I'm doing yet. I'm learning. I am looking for leadership, relationship, and creativity, which looks like direction, confidence, and capability. And when people do that and they volunteer that, I'm theirs. They have my undying loyalty and support until they don't do those things. And I think it's one way that we can up our game. Why? It's just not enough to be an expert anymore. We also, if we are focused on creating value for other people, obviously you want it connected to what you're highly skilled at and passionate about doing in the world. Much easier to create value doing something you're good at rather than something you're bad at. And you do want it related to the issues that that person is facing. You've heard me talk about DOS before, dangerous opportunities and strengths, which I won't go into detail here today. But, when we're addressing those issues for people, oh my gosh, it's the highest level of value creation. And people are so, so grateful. I see a massive opportunity after having dealt with a number of experts recently. It was like, oh my gosh, they could have given me so much more direction and so much more confidence about what I was doing or what they would be doing. And I just felt like there was a huge, huge missed opportunity. Now, the only good news here is I was not dealing with entrepreneurs. I was dealing with a whole other industry. So I think we can actually, and this is why I'm so excited, we have an opportunity as entrepreneurial organizations to step out into this, to take a leap where other people are not willing to go, and to perhaps take risks. But really, if you are addressing what people are worried about, what they're excited about, and what they're confident about with your own area of capability, it's kind of hard to go wrong, especially if you're halfway decent at listening. So I just want to kind of leave you with that today, because having not experienced it when I was looking for it, I think there's a huge opportunity, as I said, for us to do that as part of people who are part of very growth-oriented, like-minded, ambitious entrepreneurial organizations to provide enormous value in the world for other people, because frankly, it's missing. And this is kind of low-hanging fruit. So take a look at your whole company, take a look at your team leadership, take a look at your own behaviors as a team member, and make sure that you are, it doesn't matter your role, being a leader by providing direction, providing relationship by providing confidence, and finally, demonstrating creativity by providing capabilities. I hope you find this useful. Please let me know any thoughts or observations by emailing me at questions@strategiccoach.com. And as always, here's to your team success.